Have you wondered why you don't own a $100 million yacht yet? It's because you're poor. Let's talk about today why you will stay poor unless you start doing the things you need to do right now. Let's get right into it. Welcome back, Preneurs. Today's conversation is why you will always be poor. Let's get you to that $100 million yacht. Let's get you financially free. Let's get you retired the way you want to be retired. But there's some things that we need to be able to stop and make sure we start doing if we want to get to that level. So let's get right into it. I have 6 points for you. The first one is you're not really investing in the most important asset that you have, which is you. If you're not doing that currently right now, that's one of the major reasons why you will not shift from being poor to actually going to the rich wealth type of sector. So if you're doing that right now, you're not doing this thing, which is investing in yourself, I highly recommend that you start paying yourself first before you start paying everything else. That's number one. Number two brings us to this, which is you think you know everything. So one of my partners came into my office yesterday, and they were talking to me, and they're like, man, I just don't know why my income's not increasing. I'm like, when's the last time you were just curious about your business? When's the last time you actually just looked into what you are doing wrong, what you're doing right? And they're like, I don't really think I'm big curious. When's the last time you asked a mentor a question about your business? They're like, I haven't asked it in a long time. I said, oh man, your ego's too high. So your ego's so high that your money's going low. If you want your money to go high, that means you need to lower your ego and start what? Asking more questions. If you think you know everything, you already lost. It means your cup's already full. So in regards to this, are you curious about what you're really doing good and what you're doing bad, what you could get better at? And if you're consistently knowing this right here, which is I need to get better, I do not know everything, you will position yourself not to be in this sector, which is always being poor. That brings us to number three, which is you are wasting money on your bad habits. And guys, none of us walk on water. We all have bad habits. All right. We all have, vices that takes us, distract us from our destiny. And that's what makes us human at the end of the day. So whatever your bad habits are, the number one thing is to be aware of them. Are you aware of those bad habits? A lot of us just sweep it under the rug like they're not a bad habit at all, but you know it's actually hurting you, right? So you want to make sure that, again, that you're not spending your own personal money on these bad habits consistently saying, man, justifying, well, it's okay. I just need some escape time. I just need to be able to give myself some love on me. So let me go into these bad, no, that's not cool at all. It's only going to hurt you in the long run. So stop putting money towards these bad habits because it's definitely affecting you from shifting. All right. And you're going to stay here if you don't stop here. OK, that brings us to number four, which is you think your job will make you rich. All right. And when we say it out loud, it's not going to make me rich. But you find so much security here. It's safe. It's like a blanket, like a newborn that has a blanket. My wife just delivered last week. We have a newborn. I haven't slept in I don't know how many days. Let's put it that way, right? But my point of bringing this up to you is that as my little girl, her blanket, we cuddle her. She feels so warm, safe, knowing that she has all her benefits. She knows she can get fed anytime she wants to get fed. She can get held anytime she wants to get held. That's what sometimes we look at when we think a job is going to do the same thing for us. It's going to take care of every need we have. We're going to become rich. We're going to become retired. But that's not really going to happen. So if you really understand this right here, that your job is not going to make you rich, it's not going to really provide that much security, especially in today's time, you will position yourself not to be here anymore and really go to the next elevation of your life, whatever that is for you, which to me is going to own that $100 million yacht, become financially free, go do the things you want to do when you want to do it, things along those lines. That brings us to number five, which is only have one source of income. Okay, that kind of piggybacks on this one, which is you think that one stream of income from your job is going to make you financially independent. But it's not. So then you need another source of income. So what is your other sources of income? Do you have other hobbies? Do you have other things that you're doing on the side that are able to increase the different streams that you have? Why? Because you need more options. If you have a lot of bills, don't you think you need a lot of incomes? That's something that you got to think about, right? So if you only have one stream of income, you unfortunately, the probability of you getting out of this is very unlikely. All right, so go ahead and position yourself to get another stream of income if you haven't yet. And that brings us to our last point, which is number 6. You have no passive income streams. What is passive? There's a difference between having active income and passive income. When I say active income, that means that's something you have to consistently keep working at each and every day, right? You get up and go to work and you're doing that consistently. Why? Because that provides you a certain income. That takes you and your activity, your behaviors, your actions to be able to create that income. But what happens when you're not working? What happens if you ever get sick, injured, terminal ill? I'm afraid that never happens to you, but what if it ever did? Do you still have income streams that consistently keep coming into your account because you're not there? That would be more passive. That would be more independent type of income. Do you have any of that? If you only have active income, which means it only is income based on you, then you will never have passive income if you don't set that up. What are you receiving from dividends? What are you receiving from residuals? What are things that, again, are going to keep paying you if you're there or not, right? If you have this, then you'll always be in a great situation not to always fall into here, which is always being poor. So with that, Preneurs, that will end this video. Go in and tag someone right now that says, you know what, I want to elevate my life to a different level. I don't always want to be poor. I want to be able to position myself to be rich, wealthy, and be able to go and live my best life. And make sure you're increasing 1% daily. Why? Because we got to increase your profit, your passion, your purpose, so you can live your best Preneur life. We'll see you guys in the next video.